The BMW M3, one of the most iconic names in recent automotive history. Now in South Africa, we never got the E30, being the four-cylinder left-hand drive vehicle that was only available in Europe. Our first M3 that we got here was the E36, which was a naturally aspirated six-cylinder inline. Following that, we got the E46, also naturally aspirated, the engine growing now to 3.2 litre with 252 kilowatts. At the end of the E46 era, the German opposition became serious, with Mercedes introducing the C63 and Audi the RS4. The only thing BMW could do is also use big capacity V8 for the E92 version of the M3, now delivering 309 kilowatts. We're very privileged today to have the last iteration of the BMW M3 here, which is actually called the M4 owing to the two-door configuration. It's now a return to the roots of inline 6, but it's with added turbochargers. Now to answer the question, where does this new M4 fit in with the heritage of M3, we asked two owners of the previous two generation cars to come and join us today to answer that question. So we have Avinash with the E46 and we have Brendan with the E92 V8. Okay, I'm in the E46 now, which is absolutely mint condition, and the proud owner next to me is Avinash. Avinash, for how long have you had this car then?
Nico, it's about 2 years now.
And why did you go for the E46 then?
You know, the E46, in my opinion, is the best M3 ever made.
Yeah?
And will stay that way.
Why do you say so?
It's got the handling, it's got fantastic noise, it's got the rasp, it's got the power, it's got your naturally aspirated motor, high revving motor. I mean, what more could you ask for?
Okay, Brendan, so this is actually not your car, it's a friend's car that's on loan for today, but you used to own one of these, right? And now you've swapped it for the 1M.
I've now traded for the 1M, yes, something a bit different.
Okay, but let's talk about this car. Tell me what makes it special for you. I mean, this is the first time BMW has changed now from inline 6 to a V8 4 litre naturally aspirated to run with the big boys. How's the actual characteristics of the car changed?
I think the main attraction was, as you say, the fact that we now got a naturally aspirated V8, and also the fact that its rev range was clear into the 8,000 revs per minute was a big attraction, which is something not even the competitors were really doing.
So what would you say on this V8 model, what makes it an M car? What makes it special?
I think this is really one of the purest M cars for what we grew up knowing BMW for. Naturally aspirated, well engineered engines, and I think that gave it really its characteristics, its sound, its linear performance, really made it stand out.
Okay, so you would say from E46 to E92 there's a big jump in technology.
I think it was one of the biggest jumps we've seen as of yet, complete package wise, engine right through, aesthetics down to gearboxes. I think it was one of the biggest jumps we've seen in evolution for the M brand. I think this has to be one of the best sounding M cars we've ever got.
What do you think of the interior of this car?
Jeez, it's amazing. They're really upped it. The ride is comfy. Your seats are comfy. You know, it's not harsh at all. It's easy to drive.
Nice bulge in the bonnet. Hey? Heats up display. Very comfortable drive, eh?
Once you drive the different models, you really can't argue anymore. You will have no justification to argue that is the E92 better than the E46. Once you've driven it, yes, and once you drive this, again, you're astounded to see that they just keep doing it. It's leagues apart.
I don't hear the metallic raspiness.
You're not, no, that makes that car so iconic that it has that metallic sound, you know.
I can argue with the purists all day long, and I can hear where they're coming from, but for me, it's an evolution that had to happen, and once you drive it, it's clearly visible that it is an evolution. It's a step up in almost every single way.
As nice as it is, I mean, is it boring? Is it fast in the sense that it's boring? I mean, can it be exciting though?
We'll find out on the way up. Use the manual shifts a bit and give it a bit of a go. It's actually addictive. It's going to put a smile on your face no matter who you are and what. The question I want to ask you, is the spirit of the M3. If you dig deep, do you think the M spirit is still in this car?
I think it definitely is. Yeah, I'm quite satisfied that it's there.
So are you happy that even with turbocharging, it's still what it should be?
I'm happy.
What a privilege today to be able to drive all 3 generation M cars back to back. Starting with this E46, which is probably the rawest of the 3 in driver feel, and that mechanical, metallic sound of the exhaust is just incredible. Then the jump to the E92 V8. The technology leap is so incredible that this car actually feels modern. You can actually feel like you can drive it straight off the showroom floor with a free revving V8 engine. And then lastly, we have this new M4 here, with the biggest characteristics, the 550 Newton meters from that inline turbo engine that just punches you to the back. Doesn't matter what engine revs you are at. The main question we want to answer today is if the M spirit is still alive in this modern M4. And the answer, a definite yes.